we're being intentional here at CVC. And we know that we want to see transformation and we want to see kids inspired.
Our mission statement at CVC is to equip and inspire students and hopefully teachers to transform the world for Christ. And so these would be opportunities for us to help people live into that mission. So when we talk about some of the through lines like community building, servant working, God worshiping, we're hoping that these are habits that they're practicing while they're here. So when they leave, our walls, our doors, our place, whether that's just for today or upon graduation, that these are Christ-like characteristics that they're taking with them into the world to do God's kingdom work. Within the Teaching for Transformation framework, every person names what their deep hope is. And our deep hope is this 60-year hope. We recognize 60 years from now, we may no longer be around, but we're planting seeds in our teaching and in our work that hopefully we'll see some completion later.
My deep hope is that we will think and act like scientists. We will make sense of God's creation. We will work together to find solutions to real problems so that we can do the kingdom work both now and later. Formational learning experience called Flex is one of these ways that we identify how can our students right now be doing real work with real people to meet a real need. And so as we think and act like scientists and identify these problems, we're able to begin to let our hearts be broken for the things that break God's hearts and grow ourselves into this kingdom work right now.
I used to think that it wasn't a big problem with the digital divide because it doesn't matter because I don't struggle with the digital divide, so it doesn't even matter. But now I think that after learning about the digital divide all around the world, that it's a big problem and it doesn't matter if it just affects me, it affects other people that are God's children.
I used to think, oh yeah, we have big problems in the world. They're not so big. Like plenty of people actually know how to work technology and stuff. But after we went into that experience, I have a feeling that like we should be doing more to help with bridging that digital divide. Because it's actually like a bigger problem than I thought before. And we should just be helping other people in things that they need help with.
I actually didn't even know what the digital divide was, and I just didn't really think much of it. Like, obviously I felt sad for them, but like, I didn't really like put that in my life. And now I think that like, we should go and help people.
And so our students identified different populations, and one population that was identified is the elderly. We realized that just because we put a device in somebody's hand does not necessarily mean that that person's going to be connected to the world around them.
This growing digital divide can limit communication, access to services, and shared experiences across generations. So, how do we bridge the gap?
I actually said, well, we should go to like Sierra Village and help people. And she was like, that's a great idea.
These Central Valley Christian middle schoolers are stepping up and reaching out to make a difference.
I feel like justice seeking is to seek those opportunities of how to fix maybe like where people are confused or in places where it needs fixing.
Bridging the technological divide starts with connection. When teens take the time to teach technology to older generations, it's more than just learning. It's building relationships, fostering independence, and strengthening communities. Together, they create a future where everyone benefits from the power of technology and ensures access for all.
And I thought, in a funny way, like, how does a teenager or even a young teen have so much in common with somebody who's at a different stage of life as the elderly? And to see that we were building community in that room at that moment. We weren't just connecting people to people that they already have in their lives, but we were building new connections and seeing God's plan for us as believers just live out during this Flex program.
From my perspective, I think the students really grew in just awareness of this other group of people that don't necessarily just know how things work, or even if they have a phone or technology in their hand, that there's still so much that they don't understand. But also just, I think the bigger idea of you can make a difference in the kingdom through things that you might not even think are a big deal, but actually like make a difference for people's lives.
These kids grew up with this technology, so being able to teach those of us new to it is a blessing. I believe if you give children an opportunity to teach, the outcome will be amazing.
These middle schoolers are delightful. I can't say enough good things about them, and it was delightful, and I learned so much in such a short period of time, and I hope they come back.
And I couldn't have had a better experience.
From this experience, I learned that even next door to me, there are a lot of elderly people that don't know how to use their phones. So that means there are a lot of elderly people all around the world that don't know how to use their phones. And I feel like we need to help them too.
To be a justice seeker, to me, is to want to do something good and that is fair and right for people, and not on like opinions, just like doing what is right because you know it's right.
I hope for like educators, teachers watching this video, that they would get the message that Flex can feel like, oh, I'm not sure that this is worth my time to do, but I often would say it's, once you go through it, you realize it's completely worth your time to take the extra step and effort to do this with students because it's such an impactful experience for them. So I hope that teachers would realize like, yeah, it's worth the time and energy to put forth. I hope for just anyone in general, like the CVC community, that we'd all learn more about justice seeking and community building and how we can live that out in God's kingdom.